episode 124 of Mastering Local Marketing. Tell your friends, tell other businesses. Please, if you have any things that you want us to discuss or you want to be a guest on this, all you got to do is get a hold of Adriana with 2 N's at wjob1230.com. Just do it that way, and she'll take care of it. And she'll, put whatever topic, if there's a specific topic you want to get to. What I want to talk about, what we're going to talk about today, if anybody was in our AI podcast, we're doing more and more of those. Please, if you're the small to medium-sized business or you are marketing a regional business, please don't be intimidated by some of the topics that Matt Hansen, the main star here, comes up with. He's advanced past just about anybody I've ever met in AI, digital marketing, and that kind of stuff. I'll bring him down to the simple, just make it as simple as we can. But just don't be intimidated. These things are coming. The big tech people built all these things and big ideas in marketing, and we can bring them down to your local level. That's what we're doing here and with my business, and he is Matt Hansen. How you doing?
I'm good.
Customers leave your business every day without buying. Many of them still plan to. In this episode of MLM, we share 5 simple marketing strategies that turn those missed opportunities into real revenue. What is your percent? When I say, what's your major percentage of conversions of people that are looking at you? What do you come up with?
I think everyone needs to understand when you talk to 100 people, how many of them are actually buying from you. That's the number one thing. And when I sit down with any company, it doesn't matter if you are a local company, you're an e-commerce brand, whatever it is. I always ask, it's the first thing I ask you, conversion rates, like what's your cost, customer acquisition cost, what's your conversion rate, how many people are coming to your website, how many people are walking through your door. It's metrics, right? And many people just don't know them, right? They don't take the initiative to understand, and that's fine. I get it, right? We're all busy. There's a million things that we're doing on a daily basis, but we can automate some of these things, right? So the last episode we talked about AI. You could literally have AI send you your conversion rate every single morning in an email if you really wanted to. Like you could set it up through Google Analytics, and then it would trigger an email that sends you, hey, by the way, your conversion rate yesterday was, let's say, 5%. You could have that if you wanted to.
And by the way, that's not that hard to do.
No.
Do not be intimidated that Adriana could have that done for your business by the end of this taping of this podcast. Yeah. It's that simple. But
it's the same thing, if you have a retail location, right? You have a little laser pointer that takes every time somebody walks by, it triggers a count, right? Like you could buy one of those off of Amazon. Start getting those numbers. You take that number every single day. You put it into, let's say you go back to ChatGPT and say today was, 47. And every day you do that, and every single day you're putting that data in there, and you train it and say, I want to know on average how many people came in my business from January 1st through today, right? Like you could put all of that data into AI, if you're trying to simplify it, put it into AI and just ask for that information to be delivered every single day.
This is related here.
It is.
The question I'm going to ask you before we get to, exactly how do you recover lost sales. But when I say the word performance marketing, what's that mean to you?
It means when I'm putting $1 out there, I'm getting more than $1 back.
So you're using data and you're using metrics that you're talking about. Basically, everybody should be a performance marketer at this point.
They should be, yeah. Without a doubt.
Why are some people not?
I mean, that's a loaded question, to be honest with you. I think...
Why do you think I asked it?
I know. Well, we don't want to go 30 minutes, but... I would say it's a variety of things. I know entrepreneurs that are the go-getters, right? Like, one of my favorite people is AJ Moran, and literally, as fast as I move, I can't keep up with her.
Then I saw that she put out for the big sell you need to enter. Did you see the email? AJ Moran will, at least we'll get a watch on that. AJ
Yeah.
Moran, and this is a shameless plug here. And when we go to the big sell at PNW, AJ Moran's running it, and you better send in a good video, or she'll just spit it right back out to you. But anyways, go ahead.
But we have that. But then we have the entrepreneurs, the other side of entrepreneurs that I deal with that. Oh, everything's going wrong. Nothing works. I have no time, that kind of stuff, right? And so we're all made up of the same chemicals and cells and all, right? Like we're all the same, but we all look at things differently. And that's the hard part, right? Like, because I get frustrated from time to time dealing with people that don't want to move fast. And I got to realize that there's many times where I got to sit there and go, okay, they're not the same. We're not the same, right? Like I've got to slow things down. I've had a couple meetings over the last 2 weeks where like you sit down and you start talking with people and you're like, okay, well, are you doing this? No. And the way I look at it is it's a spectrum, right? So you draw this line in front of you and you go, all right, there's kind of over here, these are people that don't really understand marketing. They don't really know what to do. They're kind of lost. They're overwhelmed. And then you have all the way to the right where they're fully automated. Everything is functioning. They're just, you can't even keep up with them because they're so ahead of you. You got to understand where you are on that line. So when we talk about kind of this stuff and conversions and all this other stuff, I mean, it may sound to some of our listeners like a lot, but really we're just asking you to understand when somebody walks in, they've already told you they want to buy something from you, right? If they make a phone call to you or they walk in your door, they're looking to buy something. They called you. They're looking to buy something. So you should already be able to sell them. So what we're talking about today is like they walk in your store and then they leave. They call you and they leave, right? They send you an email. You never hear back. Most people go, oh, they weren't going to buy anyway. No, they came in for a reason. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up today is that they've walked out. They've called you. They didn't call you back, whatever it may be. Something's going on. You've got to solve it for them, right? So I'm we've got some sales students that have been going to competitions around the Midwest. And
you haven't sent any of them to me.
They're not my students, but I'm being brought into it, right? And I'm going into them and I'm throwing everything at them from left and right and, whatever. But I keep telling them, I go, I'm in here because I'm interested in buying what you have to offer, but you got to figure out what it is, right? So that gets us to the first point that I wanted to talk about, which we talk about plenty, is pain points, right? So somebody walks in, but then they walk out, or they call you and you give a quote and then they disappear. What is the pain point that they came in? You're HVAC guy. I'm freezing. It's 30 degrees outside. My house is 30 degrees. I need heat. That's my pain point, right? If I come in there at $10,000 or if I come in there at $50,000, that's a different pain point, right? That's a huge discrepancy in price. But what is it that you're looking for? Is it just price? Probably not, right? So if you come in there and let's just say, he walks in and he's 11,000 and the guy that was just in there is 10,000. Okay. Do you ever want this to happen again where you have to wait for somebody to come see you? Or would you like kind of a service contract along with this where we come and check it every single change of the season? So it's a constant maintenance. So for that extra $1,000 in your mind, we're actually giving you peace of mind that you're not going to be sitting here freezing, waiting for somebody to come out when it gets cold again, because we've already looked at everything that could go wrong, right? So it's a maintenance part of it. We're taking care of you 24/7. They come in and install it, and you're under warranty, but you had to wait for them to come out for 3 days and sat here as pipes froze and everything else.
All right, so you find the pain point.
Yep.
Someone has offered a little bit of awareness. You told me about how you bought a fence and how many different people you talk to. You're like the worst customer because you're going to evaluate everything and then you're going to think about it and you're going to take in all different angles of it. But some of them are going to come back to you.
Right.
right? And they're maybe going to come. I mean, what's the general rule? Should you follow up as your small business? Should you follow up with that person once, twice? I mean, what's the rule?
Read the room is what I would say, right? So I would follow up. I'd follow up again, right? So, let's say you call them back or reach out to them and they don't pick up the phone or they don't respond to the email. Okay, that's once. Let's do it again. Okay, nothing. Let's try it a third time, right? Let's see. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe they went on vacation. Maybe they're inundated with work at work, right? Like they're having a bad week, whatever it may be. But like you talk about the fence, it wasn't about getting the best price with the fence. It was about getting everything answered, right? So we had to have a survey, and we had to are you going to take care of the permits? We wanted to make sure we had some special things that were put on it. And some of them had it and some of them didn't. We asked them, can you get this, right? And it was all of these little things to where we got the quotes. And I think we had 4 different quotes. But the ones that they sent the quote via email, and I never heard back from them again. And I'm like, okay, well, is that how you do it? Like you send it and you just, okay, well, they'll buy if they buy. The one that we bought from, we talked with the salesperson a few times. He came out a second time to measure something else because we had a request. We talked to the home office about a couple things, and we talked to one of the installers because we had kind of a small little issue that we were dealing with. That's why we went with them, because they answered every single thing that we wanted, and we paid for it, right? Price is important, but it wasn't the only deciding factor, right? So that's what was really interesting about that, is because nobody followed up. They would send an email with a quote, and then you'd never hear from them again. And you're kind of like, is that working?
So back to our last episode, AI can help you tell you where, hey, you need to follow up with this person. All you got to do is give it the prompt, the correct prompts. Tell me who I need to follow up with today.
Yeah.
In your marketing thing.
Yep.
All right. But anyways, so all of this technology that we're talking about and all of this, Matt Hansen is, if nothing else, a systems person. And if you're able to pick that up and develop your own systems, then you got to go all the way back to the Stone Age. And every once in a while, you have to get personalized to a potential client. What's a good way to do that?
Well, so this is making a huge comeback right now. So we've gone so far on the digital side that now people are going backward to handwritten thank you notes or handwritten kind of materials that are being delivered to your inbox or to your mailbox. And when's the last time you got a thank you note? Handwritten thank you note from somebody?
Just after funerals.
Okay. So not great, right? But imagine that at the end of the year, right? We have Christmas cards and things like that. But imagine that heading into the new year, somebody writes you a little note that says, I want to thank you for working with us last year. It was an amazing experience. I can't wait to do more with you. Looking forward to the new year. Sent that to you. How does that hit with you versus somebody that just sends you a random email every once in a while? Like, hey, just want to check in on you. It's a completely different mindset, right? So there are companies out there now that have built entire businesses off of selling like $11 envelopes that contain information like little like journal prompts and all this other stuff at this point. Like people want to receive mail again, which is the funniest thing in the world because for a while there, nobody wanted to get any kind of mail, right? But the new generation that's coming out, like my daughter or my son, when they get mail, they're excited to get mail. And I laugh because, like now it's all credit card stuff because, they're of age. But a little simple handwritten note saying, thank you for coming in the other day. If you have any additional questions, here's my personal cell phone number. Give me a call. I'll be happy to help out. Right?
Calumet Painting does a podcast here, and they keep getting put as the number one best of the region. And one of the things that he talks about it. I'm like, well, why are you doing this podcast? I don't quite get it. He came to us and said, we need to do this and blah, blah. He's like, everybody's out there selling one-day baths and selling painting of your things. And he goes, I do the personal things. He should be in here, being in it. He's the one that stops by places and gives it's all about personal relationship. I mean, he's a fireman, so he had all that time, all those years, but he writes the handwritten notes and stuff like that. But he says to me, we don't really have any educational how-to content that we produce.
Yeah.
We got it all from the companies, and we can give those to people. I want to produce some things that are our own educational content. What do you say about that?
I mean, that's why we're doing this podcast. Let's be honest, right? So for 26, 7 years, people have been asking me, I wish I could just come take your class. You know, I probably can't afford to work with you and your agency. And it's one of those where I just finally said, we've got to put this information out there, right? So as I talk with people now, I'll say, you know, if I have a conversation this week about AI, I'll say, oh, well, go listen to episode 123. We just talked about how to do the 9 different prompts that you need to understand, right? Like, it's an ability for me to send people where, you know, to get value, right? So I'm not always trying to sell you on, you know, let's get you some work from you for the agency. It's more or less like, I want to be a good community member, not just here in Northwest Indiana, but throughout the world, that we can share all of this insight and realize that, yes, I've been on the Fortune 500 side, but now I'm bringing those ideas, the technologies, all of this stuff to you in an educational format that allows you to understand how to implement it on a local level, right? And, you know, from his perspective, yeah, there's a lot of things when it comes to doing tub surrounds and painting and all of that. Like, my aunt right now, I was over at her house 3 weeks ago. I had to fix her shower because whoever put it in didn't know what they were doing. I mean, there's gaping holes in the corners where the tile doesn't meet. I mean, what in the world's going on here, right? So there's a lot of things that you have to understand if you're doing those projects. And somebody that comes in, we had our wood floors put in.
Can you not lean back? Just the shot's only so far. You need to move over.
Nobody's looking at it.
All right,
We're
good enough.
good.
Go ahead.
So, but we had wood floors refinished, right? And one of the things that people that redo floors, they will skimp out on the number of levels that need to go on there, right? The sealers and all those types of things. So it's understanding, it's the educational portion that we need to put out there to really understand, like, you know, that's, if you send educational materials out to your customers, they're going to love it.
So ultimately,
I'll come over here and sit right. No, just kidding.
Well, I mean, it only goes so wide, but ultimately, you're talking about visibility to this customer who has indicated interest and has not bought. How do you get in front of them?
Right. Well, you know, one of the things that I love to do, and this is more on like a B2B side, but I actually, if I'm going by somebody's office, I've brought you coffee before, right? Like, I've heard you on the radio saying that you needed a coffee, and I stop in and drop you off a coffee, right? Did I need to do that? No, right? But I bring you coffee. It's the same idea here, whereas, you know, if you're driving by somebody's office, you can stop in and just say, hey, you know, I was over here at the Dairy Queen getting a Blizzard. I got you one. You know, if you want it, if you don't want it, give it to one of your staff, but I just thought maybe you'd like one. You know, just want to stop in and say hi. That'll go like so much farther than just shooting off a simple text like, where are we at with things, or how are you doing, or anything. Like, you've got to give the personal side of it, right? Have you ever called if you're in retail, have you ever called a customer just to talk to them? Like, your best customer, just give them a call. How'd that piece of furniture work out for you? Can you take a picture? I'd love to see how it looks in the new space. Would you ever do that? Most people won't, right? So it's all these types of things that you should do and reach out to these individuals. But it's that one extra thing that you do that most people just refuse to do.
He's Matt Hansen. Final I mean, what's the question? I mean, somebody's indicated interest, and you don't want it to be a lost sale. What's the attitude they should have?
They came in, they talked to you, they shopped, they've made a phone call, whatever it is, they wanted to buy. You let them go. That's the problem, right? So you need to go back and look at it and go, every single time somebody walks in our store, every single time somebody calls us, that is dollars in your pocket, don't let it go. Even if they walk out, figure out a way to get it back.
Episode 124. You want to get on this podcast, you want us to talk about something specific about mastering local marketing, just email Adriana with 2 N's at wjob1230.com. Until next time, see you later.